Hello and good morning there, mortgage coaches. My name is Brian Mearing. I'm one of the national trainers here at Mortgage Coach, and I'm looking forward to working with you in today's session of the special edition, Mortgage Coach University Special Edition, March Madness. Let me go ahead and bring up the itinerary of what we're going to be covering on the for the agenda today, and then also for the full month, so that you could take a look and confirm that which particular classes that you want to attend to, and that way you'll be able to jump around and make sure that you attend the ones that are meaningful and important to you. Now, what I'd like to do before we get too far along into today's session is just confirm that you're seeing the correct screen and that you can hear me loud and clear. You should be looking at the Mortgage Coach website. That looks almost like it's speeded up right now. Let me go ahead and refresh that and see if looks like something's going on with it. It looks like it's in fast motion there. But if you could confirm simply by typing something in the question area, maybe a little bit about where you're located in the country. That way I'll know that by giving that feedback that I'm coming through loud and clear. You should see the Mortgage Coach website, and then of course hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Excellent. Okay, so let's see, we got some people from Oregon, Washington, Greenville. Excellent. Okay, so let me go ahead and share with you a little bit about what we're going to be covering in the training sessions here for our March Madness session here. So it is a special edition, and our goal in this particular series of training sessions is to teach you folks how you can work with families and help them make a confident mortgage decision, and give you the opportunity to differentiate yourself from what your competition is providing, maybe the client that you're looking to gain business with. So as a mortgage professional using Mortgage Coach, you're going to be able to differentiate yourself from, the traditional information that you may have been using in the past, but now that you have access to the Mortgage Coach tool, it could be a game changer and definitely differentiate yourself from what you were providing them in the past. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the week one, and we're just starting off. Today is Monday 3/6, and we're going to be working in the settings area, how to get yourself set up to use Mortgage Coach. Make sure that you're providing all the information that your clients are going to need in order to get in touch with you, go through some of those features. But also we're going to introduce templates to you. Templates can be a way of being able to very efficiently build Mortgage Coach presentations. I'm using the word efficiency because if you get these templates in place, or if you already have access to templates, it can make building your presentations much, much more quickly. Now the goal, if you haven't already started using Mortgage Coach, is to become proficient enough so that you're able to build presentations 10 minutes or less. We have people that are able to build Mortgage Coach presentations in 5 minutes or less. And that's including a video, by the way. So the goal is to get you, working in that direction. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, you have to build a few presentations and start gradually building up to it. Typically around, say, the 10th presentation that you've built, things are going to click for you, and you're going to start to have a streamlined process as to how you're building your presentations. So again, today's training session is to get that foundation started, get your settings in place, and introduce you to templates so that you could build your presentations much more quickly. Tomorrow you're going to be creating your first total cost analysis. Wednesday, understanding the output of the total cost analysis. You have to be able to explain and make yourself familiar with, what is the output of your presentation, so that you can answer your borrower's questions when they're viewing that. And then how to use video, and then also email and verbal scripting. So that's the week one's agenda. Let me go ahead and share with you week two's. You can take a look at the different items that you're going to be learning about, and then it's a 4-week session, so week 3 and week 4. We'll have the entire agenda, the calendar, posted on our website, so that way you can go ahead, and if you feel like you're pretty proficient in certain areas, by all means, utilize your time as efficiently as possible. Attend the ones that are going to be most beneficial to you. So what I thought I'd do is to get a little bit more information about, the proficiency that you're at right now. I wanted to launch a poll here, a couple polls, and see where you're at with using Mortgage Coach here. So let me go ahead and launch a poll here, and I apologize for the typo. I just noticed it in here. Have you successfully logged into your Mortgage Coach account yet? And I'll give a few more people a chance to respond. Almost have everybody in the class that responded to this question. Give a few more stragglers a few more seconds here. Okay, perfect. So it looks like the majority of you have, in fact, logged into it, but there's a few of you that have not, so we want to make sure that we cover that here. Let me make a note. We're going to cover that, how to log in. Next question for you folks. Have you successfully added a headshot to your Mortgage Coach account? It's important because, just like your business card, people like to see who they're doing business with, and it adds a nice professional touch to your presentations. And I'm going to pull up a presentation and show you exactly what it's going to look like. So it looks like, there has been a few of you that have not as well. Okay, so we got to cover that. It's another thing I need to write down. And have you edited your Start Now address so that when people view your presentation, it'll drive them to your particular website? So I'll give you folks a few moments to do that. And one other thing I want to point out, if you haven't already made yourself familiar with your GoToWebinar control panel, that's where you're going to go ahead and fire away with those questions. So anytime you have a question during the training session, this time is for you. So make sure that you're getting the most out of the training session. Do not hesitate to ask a question. The old saying is that the only dumb question is the question that does not get asked. So please ask away. All right, let me close that poll. And then I think I have one last one here. Nope, that's it actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started then. So the website that you're going to go to log into Mortgage Coach, it's right up here. So you're going to want to type this into your browser, edge.mortgagecoach.com. So you can open up a fresh window, simply type that in, edge.mortgagecoach.com, and I'd highly encourage you to save it to your favorites or bookmark it, because you're going to be accessing that site quite a bit. And then once you do that, I want you to go ahead and put your credentials in. And your credentials will be your email address is typically, I guess you could call it your username. And then for those of you that have not logged in yet, you're going to go ahead and put in your password. If you're provided with a temporary password, you go ahead and enter that. Upon entering that temporary password, you're going to be prompted to create your own permanent password. And if you're having any difficulties with passwords, I want to draw your attention right here. See where it says Forgot Password? Go ahead and click on that, and we can get that fixed for you real quickly. So make sure that you make note of that. If you ever forget your password, we have a reset for you right there. Now, once you log into the system, I want to draw your attention to two areas here. Let me go ahead and get that. You're going to have your client area here and then your partner area here. Partners you want to think about are your realtors. The realtors that you're working with and the presentations that you're building for them. Your clients are going to be up here in the client area though. And what we're going to be working on today, draw your attention up here to the top. You see home, new client, new partner. Settings is where we're going to be working today. So I want everybody to go ahead and click on that settings tab. Go ahead and click on that, and that's going to bring you to where you're going to enter all your contact information for your presentation, your business address. This is the Start Now email address that I was referring to. You want to make sure that you put that in there. And for those of you that have a personal website or an application, you want to make sure that you use that address. And let me go ahead and show you why here. So I'm going to actually show you a preview of a total cost analysis presentation. I'm going to click on this tab right up here. And if you notice, this is where your client, when they're viewing your total cost analysis presentation, and again, this is an example of a total cost analysis presentation. Oh, sorry there, John. Okay, so to access Mortgage Coach, you're going to be accessing it from either your desktop or your laptop. So if you want to go ahead and access it, all you have to do is open up a fresh window in whatever browser that you're using, and you simply type in edge.mortgagecoach.com, EDGE mortgagecoach.com. And then you're going to go ahead and put your email address in and then your password right there. And then once you do that, it's going to bring you to your dashboard, which is going to look like this. And we're going to be working up here in the settings area. You want to click on the settings tab. And great question there, Kim. Kim's ahead of me here. She's going, what is that Start Now address? So when you're looking at the total cost analysis presentation, this is an example of it. Your client's going to see this green button up here. It says Start Now. So when you're in the settings area, this is where you're going to edit your Start Now address. So whatever address, website, your personal website, your company website, whatever website you want to drive your clients to when they're viewing your presentation and they click on that Start Now. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it right now. I'm going to click on the Start Now button. When I click on that, it will drive them to the website that you've chosen to send them to. In my case, I'm sending it to Mortgage Coach, but what a lot of originators will do is they will send them to either a loan application, a personal bio page that they may have that their company's provided them with, so that way they can, direct the customer to learn a little bit about them, how they do business, whatever the case may be. Now, the next thing that I want to draw your attention to on your total cost analysis presentations is over here in the top right-hand corner. This is where you want to make sure that you have that headshot added. And some of you have indicated that you do not have a headshot yet. So we want to make sure that we teach you folks how to do that. And of course, make sure you have all your contact information. If you want to provide your clients with as many contact options to get a hold of you as possible. And then I'll draw your attention over here in the top left-hand corner where you should have all your branding. So when you go into the settings section, this is where you have the opportunity to edit any of that information if it's not correct. And I do want to draw your attention over here to the bottom right-hand corner. Anytime that you make any changes to this information, please remember to hit the Save button. Otherwise, it will not stick, and you'll be making changes and wondering why it did not stick. So hit that Save button anytime you make any changes. Now, the next thing I want to show you is the images. So we're going to go from the Contact Info tab to the Images tab here. And this is where you're going to make sure that you have, of course, your company logo and then that headshot that you've got. All you have to do is, if you've already taken, it doesn't have to be a professional headshot. I mean, it could be, something done. I mean, the cameras today are pretty impressive. But you want to have some type of a headshot saved to your Mortgage Coach account. So take a headshot of yourself, save it to your computer, and then all you have to do is hit the Browse button here. It'll access the different folders and files that are located in your computer, and then you can simply upload it, and then you're good to go. Now, if it doesn't look right as far as sizing goes, if it doesn't look like it's quite filling up the box and everything, you can reach out to us here at Mortgage Coach, and we'll be happy to help you and assist you in getting it sized correctly so that it fills up as much of your presentation as possible. Sometimes, and here again, here's an example of a total cost analysis. Sometimes I see people's headshots where it's only a portion of this box filled in. It looks kind of small. So if you do need that assistance, the best way to do that is to reach out to us at support, S-U-P-P-O-R-T, @mortgagecoach.com. And we have staff that maintains that email address from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, and they'll be able to assist you in getting that so that it looks correct. But I do think it adds a nice touch to your presentations. People enjoy, seeing who they're doing business with. Okay, so and of course make sure you have your logo and the correct box checked here. Okay, so now we've covered those two key pieces of information: your start now address, the images, the headshot. Everybody should be good to go at this point. Let's go ahead and transition now into how you can utilize what we call fee templates to help build your presentations much more quickly. And to demonstrate that to you, let me go ahead and open up. I'm going to go ahead and just open up a new client here. So I've clicked on the new client, and again, we're going to teach you, tomorrow's training session is how to build a total cost analysis, but I want to show you how to set up these templates so that it can make it easier for you to build your presentations. And with a show of hands, how many of you are part of a organization that provides you with your mortgage coach account? In other words, we would call it an enterprise account. And with a show of hands, if you could raise your hand and let me know if you're part of an enterprise account. And you can even type in the company that you work for. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because for those of you that are part of an enterprise account, you may already, yes, Cindy, you're definitely part of one. Fairway is one. I think Pinnacle is as well. The reason that I'm mentioning it is that being part of an enterprise account, your company may have set up some basic templates for you. So I want to make sure that everybody understands how they can utilize templates. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a mock, just something here to show you here real quick. Finance of America, yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go, after I've entered just a name there, I'm going to go right to the product area here. So I want to make sure that everybody understands the difference between a product template and a fee template. And even if you're part of a organization that has provided you with these templates, you still have the capability of modifying or building your own templates based upon your workflow as well. So you'll notice that there's a box right here. It says add product from template. So as you're building the particular type of product that you want to represent as a financing option to your client, you can go to your drop-down menu here. If you've got pre-built product templates, all you do is you click on that, and then you could see these are examples of product templates that I have available in my particular demo account here. So if I'm doing and working with a lot of clients that have the capability of maybe, let's do a, this is probably one of the ones that's more relevant, a 3.5% down payment FHA loan. So when I have this product template in place, all I have to do is click on that. And what that does for me is it completes a lot of the steps, a lot of the data entry that I would have to do if I was building a presentation and going from field to field. It's a way of setting this up, and what I would suggest is that think about the products that you do the majority of. In other words, you funded maybe 20 loans, and of those 20 loans, you want to build product templates for the ones that you've done the most of. Of those 20 loans, if you've built 10, if you funded 10 FHA 3.5% down payment loans, as an example, you would definitely want to build a product template for those, because it's going to make it a lot easier and more quickly for you to build these in the future. But I just want to show you how it helps streamline the process. And then what I would do is I just have to come in here, enter the purchase price, and it automatically populates all this information for me. All I would have to do is edit the appropriate rate based upon the current market conditions. It indicates that it is a 30-year fixed rate loan. When I come over here, it's already built in all my costs, my closing costs that are associated with that. It looks like it did not factor in that I want to have that finance in there, but I can edit that on that product template. And then it could also potentially bring in what your monthly costs are. So if you're doing business in an area rather consistently, or if you're providing your clients with the same type of estimate as to what their hazard insurance and property taxes are, it's a very quick way of being able to build products. You could see I had to do just a minimum amount of information, and I've already built that first product, which is an example of an FHA 3.5% down product. And you can see the different ones that I have in my account here, and you just name them. So how do you build those? The other thing that I want to introduce you to is, this is what we call a product template. There's also what we call fee templates. So if I click on the closing cost detail here, this is an example of a fee template. A fee template is used to provide your borrower with a line itemization of all the different costs that are associated with that particular product. So in this example, this would be a fee template that's associated with an FHA loan for my particular area in this demo account. And you can see the line itemization of all the different fees that are involved here. So if you're part of an enterprise account, they most likely have already built some templates for you, and you would access them when you get to the product area when you're building them by clicking on this closing cost detail button and then going down to going up to the drop down menu up in the top right hand corner, and then choosing the appropriate fee template to represent what the costs are that are associated with that particular product option for you. Now you can edit the template in any way. I mean, if there's a particular fee that's not applicable, you see this red trash can, you just simply click on that and it removes the fee. If you need to increase the cost of it, you can just simply type that in as either a percentage or a dollar amount. And then you'll indicate, who's going to be responsible for it. Is it an APR or non-APR affecting fee? If you want to add it to the loan, or if it's a prepaid escrow. So the whole purpose in having these templates in place, as you can see, it makes it so much more easy for me to build my product options for a client. That's how people are able to build Mortgage Coach presentations in 5 minutes or less by using either product templates or fee templates. So let's go back into the settings area here. And we talked about contact info, we talked about images. Let's go over here to the product templates now. And this is an example of the product templates, again, that I have in my database. 10% down payment, conventional with borrower paid MI. So there's a lot of different options that you can do. And all you have to do is click on New, and then you can go ahead and begin building your template. I'll go ahead and build one here as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and go March Madness demo template. Oops. Okay. So you can see it's just going to walk you through step by step, the different fields that you could put data in. Does this particular template require an upfront premium? Well, as you know, as a professional originator, is the products that require a upfront premium, obviously the FHA, VA, USDA, and then if you're offering a single premium MI product, you would go ahead and indicate that by choosing the appropriate one. I'm going to go ahead and go with this as a conventional loan, so it doesn't require an upfront premium. Now, you can put in the interest rate if you wish to, but just a word of caution on that as far as best practices go. It's always something that you're going to have to edit because, as you know, rates change on a daily basis. So you're either going to want to put something in there, leave it 0, or something in there that's very, ridiculous, like 10%, 15%, so that catches your eye, so that as you're going through and working with your client, I have to edit that. Your term, make sure that you put it in months. 30-year, 360, 15-year, 180. I think you know all about that. Loan type. So you could build product templates for both fixed rate loans and ARM loans. So you just go ahead and choose the appropriate one from the drop-down menu. If you have any interest-only products or balloon products, you could go ahead and indicate and put those details in there. Now you could put in your APR-related costs as a grouping, or you can link a fee template to this particular product template as well. Points, well, you know that that's going to change on a daily basis. Your prepaid fees you can go ahead and put in there as well if you wanted to. Prepaid fees like escrows. Non-APR costs you could put in there. Seller contributions, hazard insurance reserves. Mortgage insurance reserves doesn't get used too often. I don't think there's too many companies that require reserves there. But your tax reserves you could set up there. And then your down payment percentage you could put in there. Prepaid interest. And then once you get those figures dialed in, and I'll just go ahead and put some factors in here. I'm going to do a 30-year, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect a total of 14 months worth of, so the borrower is going to pay for a full year's worth of their hazard insurance premium. I'm going to collect 2 months to get started on the escrow, and then I'm going to go ahead and just as a matter of default, always collect 4 months worth of tax reserves. Now in this particular one, this is going to be a 20% down payment conforming loan. I'm always going to have, say, 15 days of prepaid interest added into it as an example. And then what I'm going to do, and that's all the details that I put in for this particular example, but I'm going to link a closing cost to it as well. And I can add the monthly costs. So closing cost details, this is where you're going to go ahead and choose a fee template. And I'm going to go with conventional purchase fees and link that to that particular product template. I click apply to loan. And then monthly costs. If I'm always going to, tell my borrower that this is an estimate, hazard insurance is roughly going to cost you $100, property taxes are roughly going to cost you $600, you can go ahead and put those factors in there for them as an estimate. You can even do it as a percentage too, so that based upon whatever loan amount or purchase price, it would be a factor, a percentage of those, which can be a good way to go, because if your borrower is calling you and always adjusting the numbers, these will automatically adjust based upon whatever purchase price that you put in. So it's not a bad way to go. Or you could go ahead with just a fixed estimate. Click OK. And monthly cost. Just like I said, OK. I don't have to worry about the construction there. So as an example then, this is ready to go. When I go to build a product and I want to use this particular fee template, all I have to do, and I'll demonstrate that real quick, I'll click on New Client. I'm going to go to the product area here. And then from my drop-down menu, again, I'm going to look for that one that I labeled March Madness. It's going to be towards the bottom most likely because they're in alphabetical order. Here it is. And when I do that, you can see that all I have to do is put in my purchase price. I'll go $500,000 on this one. And what it's going to do for me is automatically bring in my down payment amount, my base loan amount. All I have to do is edit my rate. Come over here. It's a fixed rate product. It's brought in the closing costs that I chose from that fee template before. And then it's brought in my hazard insurance and property taxes for me and the reserves. I thought I typed in 4. I'm going to have to take a look and see. I might have not hit that 4 like I thought I did. But you can see it just makes it so much easier to be able to build your presentations more efficiently, especially for, if you're doing the same product over and over and over again. No reason to type in all that data. Now the other tab that I need to show you is how to set up those fee templates. Because what I did is I took a product template and then I used this button, closing cost detail, and I linked a fee template to that product template. So let's show you how to do a fee template here before we wrap it up for the day. So all you have to do is click on the fee template tab, And then I could go ahead and again create a new one. I'll click on new, and I'm going to name this one March Madness Demo fee template. Now, for those of you that are originating in multiple states, you can even link it or make it specific to a particular state. You just hit your drop-down menu and choose whatever state that you'd like to have that fee template tied to. I'm just going to go ahead and, again, use it as a demo. And then all you do is you come over here and you click the drop-down or this green button right here where it says Add Fee. I'm going to click it several times. And then you can see this one fee is always popping up, the 203K Architectural and Engineering fee. Now, the reason that that fee appears, it's the very top fee in our drop-down menu here. Now, the fastest way to navigate and put these particular fees in there is simply enter the first letter that that fee begins with. So as an example, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with an appraisal fee. So all I have to do is type in the first letter of appraisal, which is A, and it's going to drive me, you can see, to all the fees that begin with A. So I look for an appraisal fee, boom. I want to do a processing fee. So all I have to do is type in P. And it brings me to all the fees that begin with P. There's processing fee. Whoops, looks like that didn't stick there. Where is it? Processing fee. There we go. How about an underwriter? We need to go to U. And then let's do title insurance. Let's do a lender's title. So lender's title insurance. There we go. Now, the reason that I brought up that particular one is that's going to be most likely based upon a percentage based upon the loan amount. So what you'll do is you'll get that information and enter whatever that factor is as a percentage, and that way you don't have to go with the fixed amount. So as your loan amount adjusts, if you use a factor, that'll adjust for you. Well, who's going to be responsible for it? I'm going to go ahead and leave that as paid by borrower. But you do see that you have options here. So if it's going to be a lender, seller, or broker, you can go ahead and indicate who's going to be responsible for that particular fee. And then you can also enter them as fixed dollar amounts, like $400 for your underwriter, $400 for your processor, and then the appraisal fee is maybe $500. And then you'd indicate, which ones are APR affecting by putting a check mark in there. A lot of times I get the question, well, how do you know if it's an APR or non-APR affecting fee? You'd have to check within your organization and get that information from like your processor, funder, underwriter, management. They'll give you the guidance on this, and you might even be able to print it out and see within your LOS system and see which fees are going to be APR affecting and which ones are not. But once you get it all in place, you're done. So you've got this template that's now labeled March Madness Fee Template. I can go back into product templates, pull up this one, and then now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and link the fee template of March Madness fee templates to my March Madness product template. Apply to template. And then now when I go in to build again another client, maybe I'll just go to John and I'll build another product. Go to product here. I'll build a second product now. And I'll show you both those templates. So I'm going to go add another product. I'm going to do it from my product template here. And again, I'm going to scroll down. It's always alphabetized, and you can see the ones that have numbers are at the top of the list. So you want to use the product templates, either put them as a number 1 or number 2. That way they'll be at the top of your list, so you don't have to scroll too far to get to your the product template that you want to use. And this time I'll put a $350,000 purchase price. Again, all I have to do is edit my interest rate. I'll put 4.375. And you'll notice when I get over here, when I go to the closing cost detail, what template did it use? Well, it used my March Madness template that I just created here because I only added those 4 particular fees. And then when I come over here, you can see these fixed costs, hazard insurance and everything there. So that's how you can utilize both product and fee templates to make life very simple for yourself and building your mortgage coach presentations very quickly. So I know we went a little bit longer than I intended to. It's only supposed to be a half-an-hour class, but I do want to make sure this is a good starting point, and you want to know how, make sure that you've added on your presentation, you've got your headshot in place, you've got all your contact information correctly, you've got your start now address correctly, and then you want to make sure that you're utilizing your templates efficiently. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be using these templates, so if you ever build a template that you no longer need, all you have to do is highlight that one, and then I'm going to delete that March Madness template from my product template area. I'm going to delete that new one too because I don't even know what that is. Do a little housekeeping while I'm here. I'm going to go into fee templates. I'm going to get rid of this March Madness template. Hit delete here. And there you go. I've got an organized database of different product templates and fee templates that I'm able to utilize to help me build these presentations more quickly. So I'm going to pause here for a second and answer any questions. Again, the only dumb question is the one that doesn't get asked. So before we wrap it up for today, I'm going to give you an opportunity to make sure that you ask any questions that you may have. So please go ahead and type those in the question area. If you do not have any questions, thanks so much for joining me. And please attend the upcoming additional training sessions of the Mortgage Coach University March Madness. And have a great afternoon. If you do have any questions, please feel free to type those in and I'll make sure we get those answered for you. And while those of you are thinking about what questions that you want to ask, maybe I'll launch one last poll here. And I'm either getting some really long questions that are being typed or everybody's walking away with a good understanding of how to use product templates and fee templates. I'll hang out here for a few more moments just in case. Thanks for completing the polls and providing the feedback. I appreciate it. I'm glad it seems like most of you have indicated that you felt like you got some good solid takeaways. And again, I really feel that this is the quickest or the way for you to become very proficient at building your presentations quickly. Building a mortgage coach presentation doesn't have to be a huge time commitment once you get the flow down and utilize these templates. All right, well, it looks like we're clear. Well, folks, have a great afternoon. Thanks again for joining me. Take care, and we do hope to see you in future training sessions. Bye-bye.